Brought to you direct from Studio 3B at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, the American Hardwood Advisor is your source for trends, tips, and insights into how the building industry has evolved. Join me, Steve Stack, along with guest builders and industry leaders as we talk shop and go in depth on what it takes to be the best of the best. Dive into topics like architecture, industry trends, project plans, historical tools, tricks of the trade, and life's lessons from more than 6 decades of experience in the hardwood lumber business. Hey folks, Steve Stack, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. We're putting together a little American Hardwood Advisor series with our visit to Project Tionesta with our partners Renovation Hunters, and we've been able to snag some of the folks that are helping this transformation. I'm joined by Stephanie, Uncommon Outcomes.
Outpost.
Outpost.
Very close.
That's why I told you when we started, you should say it.
Oh, yeah.
Uncommon Outpost.
Correct.
Okay.
Uncommon Outpost.
All right,
That's
we
me.
got that. We have seen each other, this being the 3rd time over the last 5 or 6 months.
That's right.
Met out in no man's land in Nebraska.
Yes.
What a great place.
That was such a different experience for me. I've lived in the Southeast my whole life, and I've never felt so so exposed, just driving there. There's no trees anywhere. It's like people can see me for 100 miles.
So you call home down around the Richmond area?
I'm originally from Richmond,
Okay.
and then I spent almost 20 years in Savannah.
Whoa.
And then I've kind of circled around the Southeast a little bit. I'm in Atlanta now, but
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, the going out to Nebraska, like myself, I mean, I'm Midwest. I know cornfields, soybean fields, and forest. Mm-hmm. And we didn't see any of that in Nebraska.
No, there was just grass and sand.
Sand hills.
Yes.
Sand hills, right? Yeah.
But the Virginia build, that one I was familiar with. That was territory
Oh.
I know.
That was one of the most quaint locations.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you didn't want to be disturbed, that's where you went. If you needed a weekend to get the knots out and leave everything settle, that's where I'm headed.
That is so true. That is so true. And I mean, just, you can't even use your phone if you wanted to. Nobody can bother you, just peace and quiet.
Yeah, each project, Project Tionesta, Project Kreitz, and now Project Tionesta, they've all brought their own personality and character, and then yourself and Renovation Hunters, you're tweaking it and updating without giving away too much. Take me back through what kind of projects you were assigned through the 3 different builds.
Well, I'm a little bit of a different situation than most of the folks here, because I am here through wall control. I work at wall control, and so we do steel pegboard and storage solutions. So I'm here in that capacity, but I also have been building for my entire life.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of experience renovating buildings, doing some of these projects, and so I volunteered to be an extra handyman around and just kind of do some of the projects that they need an extra set of hands for.
And that's true with everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
We rolled into town Sunday, came to the job site Monday, early Monday morning, and the guys started demoing. And if there was a crowbar, grab it. If they were dropping stuff on the ground, pick it up, take it to the dumpster. And I've seen yourself with a hammer in your hand, a paintbrush in your hand, a sander in your hand.
Oh yeah.
I just caught you doing some artwork.
Yeah. I was doing some lettering earlier today. I was scraping paint, and we're gonna reglaze some windows later. So it's been fun. It is not boring for 1 second.
No, and that's and that's what keeps it. Really does keep it interesting. Keeps you sharp and keeps you thinking. Mm-hmm. And a talent like yourself with the broad-based background of carpentry, paint, et cetera,
mm-hmm.
you know, just
just
like
collect
everybody else.
hobbies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, you look at the skill sets throughout the group, and if it needs done, there's somebody on site to do it.
That is, I don't know if they planned that or if it just worked out that way, but it's pretty cool to see that there's every job that we've tackled, somebody has done it before. And most of the time that's Kevin, but a lot of times there's somebody else that's done it as well. Yeah. And it's been a pretty fun learning experience.
And a lot of personalities, a lot of characters, but with the same goal in mind.
Exactly.
Let's get this house done, get to the finish line, turn it back over to this family, and allow them to enjoy it for another 60, 70 years, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Stephanie, before I let you go, I want you to take me back through. You shared a story with me yesterday, the day before, and it involved your father.
Yes.
And you know, I've said to a couple other people on these job sites, things happen for a reason. We've had people fall in our laps that we wouldn't have thought about contacting. But when we do, there's a tie back to the Outdoor Channel, Renovation Hunters, and its cast of characters. And you found out the same thing with your dad.
I sure did. So I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and when we were up in Kreitz, instead of heading back down to Atlanta, I was like, I'm gonna go visit my dad and see what he's up to. And he just retired last year, and he's the one who taught me a lot of what I know. When I bought my first house, or when I was working on my car, the majority of those conversations are, you know, a picture of something, and I send it to my dad. What's wrong with this? Which of these things is not working? Or why isn't this plumbing working? Or what do I need to do to make this whatever I'm building work?
He's your go-to.
He's my go-to. And so it's very rare that I come to him with information that he doesn't already have. So when I get to his house, he's got all the face frames off all the cabinets. All the doors are off all the cabinets. All of the dishes are in one room. All of the cook stuff is in another room. And he is rebuilding his kitchen.
He's in the midst of a project.
He is in the midst of a project. I mean, I get it honest. And so I thought, you know, I know something my dad doesn't know. And I was like, Dad, where are you getting your lumber from? Because I know he doesn't have a planer and he's not buying rough lumber, right? From locally. And he's like, you know, I found this place online. It's like, well, you know, coming straight from Kreitz, I was like, I know something. I'm like trying to sneak in and tell him about you guys. And I was like, I know this great company. I've met them. I work with them. You should get your lumber from there. And he's like, no. I already found a place. They have the best prices, and I really like their customer service. I talked to them on the phone. The quality is really good. I'm not changing. And so I was like, oh, fine. Well, who is it? He goes, I think they're called like Baird Brothers or something like that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. The one time I thought I knew something he didn't know, and he already knew, so.
A full circle.
A full circle, every time. Every time.
Right. Fantastic. I love that story. And you and I talked. I need to find out where your dad calls home, because that story is worth some goodies.
All right, he would love that. He would love it.
And yeah, we're gonna hook him up.
Awesome.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie, Uncommon Outpost. Follow along. Follow Baird Brothers, Instagram, Facebook, across the board. We've got more great guests like Steph coming up. Hang in there. For all you folks listening, thanks for talking shop with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to stay up to date with the American Hardwood Advisor series, give us a like and subscribe. For more tips, projects, and inspiration, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or at bairdbrothers.com. Until next time,